How sweet it is! New ways to enjoy your favorite craft flavors without a glass. And a trip down memory lane. Some of our favorite beers from the past few months on this episode of Brewed. Fermentation. The magic moment when yeast turns sugar into alcohol. And as you're about to find out, that's not sugar's only use in the craft beer world.
We're at Here's the Scoop in the village of East Davenport, and I know what you're wondering. Have they run out of breweries? Is the show now going to be about ice cream? The answer is no, and that's not a bad idea. But here's the scoop. Chevelle Sampson has figured out a way to blend craft beer with ice cream. Or more to the point, I guess, sorbet.
Yes.
Can I ask a real, just basic question? What is the difference between a sorbet and an ice cream?
There's no milk in a sorbet.
Aha! So you replace the milk with?
Fruit.
And?
Sugar. And beer.
There it is. See? I knew we were going to get there eventually. So we heard here at Here's the Scoop, you have, in the past, used craft beer from your neighbors across the street at Baked?
Yes. When they opened, they wanted to do a chocolate stout. So I have a wonderful dark chocolate that we blended with their chocolate stout, and that was their dessert.
That was a one-time only thing?
Yeah, well, you can ask me to do anything.
Like, if I came with a 12-pack of beer and said, make me a sorbet, would you do that?
There's a little bit more involved than just giving me the beer and it goes in.
Like, what would be involved? What if I wanted to do this? I'm dead
I
serious about this. I've got a bunch of beer I think would be good in sorbet form.
Give me 3 days to figure out a formula, and you have your ice cream.
So the process, how do you make sorbet with beer?
You start off with your fresh fruit, which is my fresh raspberries. They get blended and mixed with your sugar and your water. And then you add the beer. It gets blended again and put into the machine. And 8 minutes later, you have your ice cream.
So the beer that you guys specifically want to ask for when you come to Here's the Scoop is the raspberry lambic. Right. Lambic is a really tart style.
Raspberries, yeah.
Right, and it's because of the raspberries.
Right.
So you use actual lambic in the process.
Correct.
Can you still taste the qualities of the beer?
Well, we should find out.
I like the way you think, Chevelle. Let's taste it now, can we?
Yeah, come on back.
Oh boy, this is gonna be great. So this is the raspberry lambic. Yes. Let me ask you this. I got an 8-year-old. Can he have any of it?
He can. Children love it, and nobody stumbled out of my door. Get your spoon.
That's fantastic. I can... All right. I guess cheers, huh?
Yeah.
I'm a fan of lambics generally, but just never had it in this form.
We make a peach, so it's a little sweeter in the summer.
Oh, boy.
Now, New Year's is coming up, so you could put that in a flute with some champagne.
That would be an elegant way to ring in the new year. That is fantastic.
Thank you.
But you get it, it's not really on the tongue, it's more in your mouth. Does that make any sense? Mm-hmm. It's like the vapors of it is where you get that lambic flavor. Mm-hmm. Like on your tongue, you're getting the sorbet, but then in your nose, you're getting the lambic qualities. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and have some more. This is a limited release, or people can get this all the time?
I make it all the time.
I think that's a good idea. Lambic ice cream. I wouldn't have believed it, but it's phenomenal. Here at Here's the Scoop. Chevelle, thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming.
Anytime. Believe me, anytime. Well, this is one of the most festive locations we've ever brought the show, and one of the sweetest, and I mean that literally. Chris, we are here at Nota Dolce.
Yes.
Am I saying that correctly?
You are.
Sweet Note? What is that?
It is Sweet Note.
Sweet Note. Tell me about the name, first and foremost.
Well, I am a music teacher.
Of course you are.
So that's where that comes from.
So Nota Dolce means you've done something good. You've hit the sweet notes.
Yes.
And it ties in nicely with what you're doing here. And I wonder if you're wondering the same thing I'm wondering, why is a beer show in front of delicious dessert treats? Well, the answer is Chris uses local craft beer as an ingredient in some of the delicious treats.
I sure do.
What gave you the idea, first and foremost, to use these local craft beers?
Well, I like to drink beer, and I like to go to Great River. And so this has been one of my favorites when I go down there. And I'm always kind of thinking about what could I do with stuff. Things just pop into my head, and I was
Do you have
like,
kind of like that ratatouille thing, where you take a sip of beer and there's just things floating in your brain?
I actually do dream about cookies sometimes.
For real?
I do. It's the weirdest thing because I get ideas sometimes that way.
I'm glad that you do. So you're at Great River, you're having the what is it, the chocolate blonde? What is that?
Yes, dirty blonde.
Dirty blonde. So you're drinking that and you're thinking, this gives me an idea.
Yes, exactly.
So how do you use it?
When I use this, what I do is I reduce it down into a thick syrup, and
Okay.
it kind of intensifies the flavor, and then I put it in a caramel sauce. So these bars actually have a pretzel layer, because to me, beer and pretzels.
Yeah.
So I did a pretzel shortbread.
Right on.
And then I have the caramel with the infused dirty blonde in it. And then I do a layer of chocolate because it's a chocolate.
Right.
And then I'm like, what else goes with beer? I make my own beer nuts. It's like a sugared peanut.
Okay.
And I put that on top. And then I noticed that this has cocoa nibs in it. So I infused some cocoa nibs also with the dirty blonde, and those are also in the top.
So you're using the ingredients that Great River uses to inspire what you do.
I did.
To replicate.
yes.
Not only are you using it as an ingredient, but then you're trying to mirror the flavors? What's the...
Yeah, a little bit. Layer it.
Okay, okay. So when you bite into that, it tastes like a beer, it tastes like a brownie, it tastes like a cake.
It tastes, I mean, you can taste I think you can taste it in the caramel layer, and then
Okay.
I just kind of put other things that I think will complement it. Would you like to taste it?
I think you know that I would.
Okay, so I cut
so-
this into 4 little things.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll take this.
It'll be a little messy because of that crumbly stuff on the top,
No.
and it'll be a little gooey
It's
because
not
of
my
the
house. I
caramel.
don't care about making my-
Yeah.
I'm kidding. You have a lovely home. Thanks for inviting us. Okay, so what do you call this? What is this?
I call it the
specifically?
Dirty Blonde Chocolate Ale Caramel Bar.
All right, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is. Hopefully that will be too. Might be a little bit hard. I had it in the fridge.
Yeah, you need to keep dreaming. Oh, because this is fantastic. Don't ever stop dreaming of dessert ideas. You really do get the layers, like you said.
Yeah.
It's a lot like a beer where sometimes there's something on the front
Different
and something
notes.
on the back. Yeah, you
And
got
I
different-
also like to have different textures in there too. That's
Different-
important to me.
different notes.
Yes.
Ties it all together. Well, this is fantastic. How do people get their hands on these sweet treats?
I have a Facebook page and I do
Okay.
farmers market, but I don't do it, during the winter because I'm teaching full time. Summer
Right.
works great for me.
Right.
And so I have an upcoming actually holiday cookie sale I have posted. I just listed my menu today.
So people can find you on Facebook at
Nota Dolce.
Dolce.
Actually, Nota Dolce Bakery.
Ah, good. I'm glad you got that in there. This is using uncommon stout.
Yeah,
What
so this is a brownie. So I reduced the stout, and it's in the brownie, and it's a chocolate chip brownie. It's a very dense brownie.
Oh my God.
And then there's also a chocolate glaze on the top that also has the reduced stout in it. And then on top of that, I have a buttercream that has some espresso. And then I have also some crushed chocolate-covered espresso beans and chocolate chips on the top because I like that little texture. If everything's gooey, I need a little crunch in there. I want you to try that.
Yeah, okay. Twist my arm, Chris.
Okay, those are
So
cut
this
into
is-
little fours too.
Oh, you're the best. Okay, so this is a brownie with, and will I be able to taste the uncommon stout in this?
I think you will. I also, there's some espresso in the brownie as well.
Okay, so that kind of adds to the
Yeah.
coffee layers. The coffee notes, if you'll have it.
Yes.
It all works out. Okay. Okay. If you like, oh my gosh,
Pretty good?
you can really get the uncommon stout and the espresso.
Yeah, I think you can.
But it's not just, you're not just tasting espresso. This is a very specific Bent River
Yeah.
uncommon stout.
Yeah.
This is fantastic as well. Again, it's Nota Dolce Bakery. You can find Chris's work on Facebook. You're not doing like a ton of these because you're very busy teaching music right now.
I'm teaching. So my cookie sale, I just kind of do a certain amount and first come, first
So
served. And
if you want this for the holidays, and you do want this for the holidays, go to the Facebook, and then if you're watching this and it's after the holidays, keep in mind that you can find Chris at the farmers market, the one that's in downtown.
the Freight House Farmers Market is
Freight
right.
House to make sure he's been
Also,
sitting
they
around
can
the
contact
farmers
me, and
market.
I do, to order.
To order.
I bake to order as well.
Oh man, Chris, it's delicious, and I love to see what you're doing with the local craft beer. It's fantastic stuff.
I want to wish you a happy holiday, and I want
to
to
you.
cram the rest of this in my mouth. So thanks for having us, and keep up the great work.
Thank you.
It's Nota Dolce. Cheers. Oh, good. So good.
Coming up on Brewed, Road Trip Finds. A look back at some of our favorite flavors from all of our recent running around.